My fiancée abandoned me for my professional rival. I stayed quiet. Then I emailed her new boyfriend a detailed list of every unpaid debt she owed me. 2 days later, she was back, pleading. I'm a 29-year-old man, and the past 72 hours have felt like a fever dream. I'm writing this to anchor myself, to confirm it wasn't all in my head. Last Friday evening, my fiancée, Sarah, 28, sat me down on the bed I'd bought, in the apartment where I covered 80% of the rent. She delivered a tearful speech, claiming this was harder for her than for me. She said she no longer loved me and had fallen for someone else, someone who truly understood her. That someone was Ethan, my professional nemesis for 5 years. We work in the same specialized tech field. He's the charismatic, smooth-talking guy who wins clients with charm. I'm the reserved, detail-oriented coder who delivers impeccable work. We've competed for the same contracts and accounts. Ethan's the type to bring up your one mistake from years ago at a networking event, framing it as a lighthearted lesson. Seeing him at our engagement party, his hand lingering too long on Sarah's shoulder, felt like a thorn in my side. I didn't realize it was a knife twisting deeper. Sarah's announcement was cold and efficient. She was leaving immediately, her bags already packed in her car. I didn't yell or beg. A strange, detached calm settled over me as my emotions shut down and logic took over. I looked at the woman I'd planned to marry and said only, "Fine." That single word seemed to unsettle her more than any outburst would have. She wanted a reaction, a meltdown to justify her betrayal. I gave her nothing. I stood still as she hauled out her final boxes, avoiding my gaze. The silence in the apartment afterward was deafening. For an hour I sat motionless. The pain was a heavy weight in my chest, but I held it in. Then a different part of me activated, the analytical side, the one that solves problems and processes data for a living. Sarah hadn't held a steady job in 2 years. She was on a quest to discover herself, a journey I'd foolishly funded. Her car payments, her phone plan, the rent she never contributed to, the new laptop for her freelance design career that never took off, the credit card I gave her for necessities that somehow racked up charges at high-end stores and salons. I hadn't questioned it. I loved her. I trusted her. One detail stung the most: my custom-built gaming PC. This my haven, worth over $4,000 in parts, assembled with care. This my escape. Ethan's also a gamer, fiercely competitive. Recently, Sarah had pretended to care about my setup, saying, "You should let Ethan see it. He'd be so impressed." Now I saw she wasn't admiring my hobby. She was scouting it for her new boyfriend. For the next 24 hours, I didn't sulk or drink. I opened my financial apps and created a spreadsheet. Every payment I'd covered, every bill, every major expense. I noted dates, descriptions, and linked receipts. I documented the clear loans. $4,500 for an urgent car repair, with her text vowing, "I'll repay every cent once I land a client." The $3,000 for a family medical crisis, with a dramatic story. The $2,500 for a friend's jewelry startup that never launched. I included her unpaid share of rent and utilities. The total? A staggering $21,389.42. At first, the document was for me, a record of my own blindness. Then my phone pinged. It was Sarah, texting, "Hey, hope you're not overreacting. When can Ethan come by for the PC? He's thrilled to set it up." The nerve of it incinerated my grief. I knew exactly what to do. Update. The pot has boiled over, and the chaos is more gratifying than I expected. Things have spiraled, and I'm just watching the wreckage unfold. After Sarah's brazen text about the PC, I didn't respond. I left it on read, knowing silence would rattle her more than anger. Instead, I finalized my spreadsheet, converted it to a polished PDF titled Sarah's Unpaid Debts and Loans, 2023 to 2025. I found Ethan's work email easily. I composed a message, keeping it friendly and professional. Subject: Congratulations and a friendly handover. Hi Ethan. Heard about you and Sarah. Congrats on your new relationship. Wishing you both happiness. Since you're stepping into a supportive role for her, I thought it'd be useful to share a clear picture of her financial commitments. Sarah mentioned you'd be picking up some items, and she may have overlooked mentioning her outstanding debts to me. Attached is a detailed summary of personal loans and shared expenses I covered for her over the past 22 months, with her agreement to repay once she was stable. The total is $21,389.42. I'm sure a successful guy like you will want to start fresh with no loose ends. Let me know your preferred payment method. Best, Daniel. I attached the PDF and sent it. Then I brewed a coffee and waited. Within 15 minutes, my phone exploded. Sarah sent a flurry of texts. Are you serious, Daniel? A spreadsheet to Ethan? This is low. You're trying to destroy me. He thinks I'm a freeloader now. You said you were fine covering me. I ignored them. An hour later, Ethan emailed, his tone dripping with arrogance. Is this a prank? I replied instantly, not at all. I have receipts and bank records. The major loans over $10,000 are backed by her texts promising repayment. Happy to send originals. Start with the medical loan from last December. Hope that worked out. Silence followed. Perfect, costly silence. All day, Sarah left furious voicemails and texts swinging from rage to begging. At 9 p.m., she showed up, pounding on my door. Her face was red, her eyes frantic. The poised woman who left me was gone, replaced by someone desperate. Daniel, please, she said, trying to push inside. I blocked the door. Tell Ethan it's a lie. You made it up to hurt me. Which part's a lie? I asked calmly. The car loan? The business funds? Or the rent you haven't paid in months? You said you wanted to help me chase my dreams. She sobbed. I was helping a partner, I said. You stopped being that when you started sleeping with my rival while I paid your way. That's not love. That's a transaction. And the bill's due. $21,389.42. She flinched. We can't afford that. Ethan just leased a new BMW. He's tapped out. That detail was telling. Ethan, all show, no substance. Leasing a car before taking on Sarah's expenses. Sounds like a budgeting error, I said. She broke down, pleading, take it back. Say you were angry. She wasn't sorry for betraying me, just for getting caught. No, I said, the calm like armor. About the PC, it's by the door. You or Ethan can have it once I see a bank transfer for the full amount. It's now part of your debt. I shut the door on her tears, locked it, and felt a flicker of peace. Update. Their entitlement didn't just knock. It tried to smash the door down. The past month has been a parade of desperate tactics. After I shut Sarah out, they regrouped and came back swinging. First was the social media attack. A friend sent me a screenshot of Sarah's private story. A tearful selfie captioned, finally free from a manipulative, financially abusive relationship. Now he's holding my stuff hostage and demanding money for leaving. Truth will come out. Thankful for Ethan, my strength. A few contacts asked what was happening. To close friends, I sent 2 screenshots, her text about the PC and the $21,000 spreadsheet. Her story fizzled fast. Then Ethan called, his voice a mix of fake warmth and superiority. Daniel, buddy, this is getting out of control. Sarah's great, but she's, messy with money. Women, right? I stayed silent, letting him squirm. This spreadsheet's intense, man. Looks obsessive. How about I send you $2,000 as a gesture? We call it even, you hand over the PC, and we move on. I nearly laughed. No, Ethan. The debt's over $21,000. The PC stays here. How's the BMW maintenance going? I hear it's steep. His tone turned cold. You're a spiteful jerk. Sarah was right. We're not paying a penny, and we'll get the cops to take our PC. Good, I said. Ask them to bring someone who understands proof of purchase. I have it. Do you? I hung up. No police showed up. Instead, Sarah texted, my cousin's a lawyer. He says this is extortion and harassment. Apologize to me and Ethan in writing within 24 hours, or we're filing a report and lawsuit. I knew her cousin was a car salesman. They were bluffing. It was time to stop reacting and start acting. The counterattack. Part 2. The system, the engagement ring. I'd forgotten it in the chaos. A custom Varejo worth $11,000. Legally, it's mine until the marriage is finalized. I sent a certified letter to Sarah's parents' address, where I guessed she was staying, demanding the ring's return. No emotion, just facts, a receipt copy, and a deadline. Small claims court. The local limit is $10,000. I filed a claim for the 3 largest loans. $4,500 for the car, $3,000 for the emergency, and $2,500 for the startup. I had texts and bank records, undeniable proof. Filing cost $100, worth every penny. I had her served at her parents' address. She had a court date. The lease, our apartment lease, ended in 60 days. Both our names were on it. I visited the management office the day after Sarah left, submitting a notarized letter stating I wouldn't renew and would vacate at term's end. Any new lease would need Sarah's or Ethan's income to qualify. The building requires income 3 times the $2,800 rent. Sarah's jobless, and Ethan's commission-based income, boosted by one big quarter, wouldn't cut it, especially with Sarah's zero earnings. They were stuck. Sarah's mom called, her tone venomous, calling me heartless for suing her daughter. I'm sorry you feel that way, I said. Maybe you should have taught her not to borrow money she couldn't repay while cheating on her partner. I hung up on her rant. The game was now mine, played in courts and offices. Final update. It's done. Not with a dramatic crash, but a steady unraveling of their flimsy plans. The ring arrived first, in a battered box via courier. It was scratched, a final act of spite. I didn't care. A jeweler bought it for scrap and the diamond's value, $9, $100 went to my savings. At small claims court, I presented my evidence. Bank records, texts proving the loans. Sarah and Ethan didn't show. The judge awarded me $10,000 plus my filing fee in minutes. The judgment tanks Sarah's credit and can garnish her wages or seize assets. The apartment was the final blow. They tried to renew the lease, but a neighbor saw Ethan arguing in the office, waiving a single commission check. With Sarah's no income and new judgment, they were rejected and given 30 days to leave. A friend described their move. No truck, just Ethan's BMW and Sarah's beat-up sedan, packed with belongings. They were arguing in the parking lot, Ethan shouting about his ruined reputation, Sarah crying that he was supposed to provide for her. They didn't get a chic new place. Sarah, per her cousin who despises Ethan, moved back to her parents' house, sleeping in her old room. Ethan, his ego couldn't handle the hit. At a recent event he told someone, Sarah's done. Total mess. Too much drama for my image. He didn't win a prize, he got a liability. When it cost too much, he dumped it. I moved to a smaller downtown apartment with a great view. Last week, I got a $92.17 payment from Sarah's wage garnishment. She's now a part-time barista. It's not about the money anymore. Last night, a text from an unknown number. Can I at least have the PC? I could sell it. I'm broke. I glanced at my setup, humming in my quiet new space. I replied, no, and blocked her. I started a game, slipped on my headset, and felt the calm hum of my machine and the pure, unburdened silence of a life that's finally mine.